Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all. Ice cream versus soft serve.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
So is soft serve ice cream also high?
Oh, hello. I love those glasses on you, man. I really do. They make me
Thanks,
so
dude.
happy to see.
I have very much enjoyed wearing glasses and seeing better now.
Right?
It's nice. Yeah. It's pretty fun.
It's really, really good. I think it's its own. I mean, they call it soft serve ice cream, right? So it's different style. There's the traditional churned style would be your hard ice cream.
Right.
Then soft serve is its own. I think the slurry is maybe somewhat similar, but something in the mix is a little different. And then, of course, it's served differently, but it is called soft serve ice cream.
That's the thing. I've only seen it like technically in a technical sense. It's like when something is like, oh, you can't call those Pringles potato chips. They're just Pringles, potato flavored chips, or like Velveeta or American Singles are cheese food. They're not cheese. I think this has to be just called, look, as I often do on this show, I go to Wikipedia for absolutely everything. And there it's just called soft serve, a frozen dessert, the most reliable. But yeah, whatever it is, it's delicious. And I do know that it has a lower fat content, lower butter fat content, and more air whipped into it.
Yeah.
So if health is one of the factors that we're going to look at in this binary battle here, guess what? It is marginal differences at best.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the beauty of it is this is a fair fight. If you were to introduce things like your Pinkberry and your more traditional frozen yogurts, then we're getting too far into the weeds. This is like the real matchup, especially like summertime. For me, summertime is always going either to Wildwood or Ocean City, New Jersey to walk the boardwalk.
Sure.
And on those boardwalks specifically, there was Coors, K-O-H-R, the Core Brothers. Core Brothers soft serve, I believe is what it was called.
I also stop for a Coors when I am walking down the boardwalk.
and it's ice cold.
Spelled differently. But if the mountains are blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. That's what the can says.
And I get mountains of ice cream that turn my lips blue. So it's really the same thing when you think about it.
If Hal's lips are blue, this beer is cold.
Yeah.
So what do you reach for? Is Coors a Scoops place or is it a soft serve place?
It is soft serve only. And they only have chocolate vanilla or chocolate vanilla twist. And then you can get it dipped or you can get toppings on it.
Sure.
And the line is always insane, but it moves quickly because how long does it take to swirl out some soft serve into a cone or cup for someone? Not that long.
Yeah. It's so good. I love soft serve.
Out here, there are soft serves that are really good. But like, I just discovered, maybe you've known about this place for a while, Handel's Ice Cream. Have you had Handel's Ice Cream?
I don't know Handel's Ice Cream. Is that a soft serve spot?
No, Handel's Ice Cream is a hard ice cream.
Okay.
Or a traditional ice cream.
For purposes of this, let's come up with some nomenclature
ice
for when
cream
we're
and
doing
soft
this.
serve. How's that?
Oh, so we'll call them ice cream and soft serve. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And soft serve is usually also called frozen custard. They're the same thing.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought frozen custard was more like a frozen yogurt. What was?
Now, in my experience, like Custard's last stand was soft serve in the 5 points. And it had a, not sugar cone, but the other kind of cone, like not the pointy cone, but the flat cone.
Yeah, cake cone.
With an arrow through it.
Of course it did.
Because, very classy and not at all culturally insensitive.
Yeah.
It was the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah. Culturally insensitive and also, commemorating a massacre.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Sure.
There's nothing good about it at all.
There's nothing, regardless of which side of the battle you're on.
But I'll tell you, after some Sherman's March to the Sea, fish and chips, nothing hits like Custard's last stand. Handel's Ice Cream is like a traditional scoop place. It's been around since 1946. There are multiple locations, and there's one near here. And I have a Fitbit. I'm showing off to you my Fitbit Charge 6.
Yeah. So you wear your Fitbit to the soft serve parlor.
Well, I wore it.
So you're only going to the soft serve parlor for the steps.
This is the ice
point
cream.
that I
this
made.
Is the ice cream.
Oh.
Well, here's
They're
the
only
thing.
going to the
It's
ice cream parlor for the steps.
When I walk 10,000 steps in this thing, I'm burning, because of my size, I'm burning about 1,000 calories.
Oh, wow.
And when you burn about 1,000 calories and you don't eat crazy the rest of the time, you can have some ice cream and you don't even burn through all those. So I have walked in the area where Handles is near me and done like 3-4 miles. And then at the end of it, gone to get ice cream and then walk back to the starting point. So it sounds like I'm erasing all the work that I did, but it's not. It's just I'm erasing part of it.
So I need to write this down. Handles as in the handle that you pull on a soft serve machine, even though this is a scoop place, or handle like the name, like Handel, who wrote the Messiah.
Yeah, like the Messiah, like Handel's Messiah.
Do they play Alleluia when you walk through the door?
You hear it even if they're not playing it.
Are you familiar with Big Gay Ice Cream?
Yes, I've had Big Gay Ice Cream in the Village.
Big Gay Ice Cream in the West Village. My favorite ice cream in New York City, a soft serve place. They have a thing there called the Salty Pimp. And, the Salty Pimp is a cone and it's one of those where they like swirl it up crazy tall. So they swirl it up crazy tall and then they dunk the whole thing in Magic Shell. And then, before they dunk it in Magic Shell, they have a squirt bottle with a long needle on it. I feel like I've mentioned this on this show before because it's one of my favorite dishes.
I'm so happy.
And they squirt caramel into it.
In the center of it. Because you have a hollow center generally in those cones.
Yeah. And this is a soft serve cone. They inject caramel into the center of it. They sprinkle some kosher salt on it, flip it upside down into the Magic Shell and then give it to you. And it is so good that do you remember this? There was one night we were at Thrilling Adventure Hour. We are, behind the theater, getting ready to, we're warming up outside, getting ready to go inside Largo to do a Thrilling Adventure Hour show. And former guest of this show and frequent guest of the Thrilling Adventure Hour, Andy Richter, drove up just because he knew when the show was and where we would be, and he was in the neighborhood. He drove up just to tell us that Big Gay Ice Cream now had a Los Angeles truck. And then he waved and drove away. That was all he wanted to do. He was like, I stopped by just to tell you guys this because I'm so excited. And then he drove away.
I'm just learning this. This is at least 9 years ago that this happened.
Yeah. I hope that the Big Gay Ice Cream truck is still in LA. And for the sake of everyone listening, I hope there's a Big Gay Ice Cream truck in your town. If you don't live in New York or Los Angeles. Hal, we have talked about a lot of great ice creams that we love. Do you want to keep doing that? I could do that for another 10 minutes. Or should we dive into the topic at hand?
Yeah, I think we should dive in. I think part of what's interesting about this is that the ice cream parlor, where you actually go in and sit down. There's a great one in Seattle I went to around my birthday. There are great ones here like Handel's, although a lot of their seating is outside.
Shout out to Swenson's. Grew up with one of those in Knoxville.
Swenson's is great. Bassett's was near me as a kid. Baskin's 31 flavor, like Baskin Robbins.
Wow, Robbins doesn't. Okay.
Now. They all have, you generally go inside to get them. My experience by and large with soft serve is that it's a hot summer night. It's post Memorial Day, almost certainly that they're open on the East Coast. And it's like a hot night and you go to a stand. So you're outside. The lights are attracting like moths or lightning, but like there are bugs attracted by the lights that you see sort of swirling around. And so it hits so much differently because it feels like such a warm weather food. I feel like hard ice cream or traditional ice cream I have year round. And maybe part of what makes it fair, because there's so much more variety. You can have chunks and things like that in a traditional ice cream that you can't really do as well with a soft serve. But soft serve feels like more of a special treat because it's not always available unless you live in a just permanently hot weather climate.
Yeah. Well, and that, I think that's dead on. And I think that leads to one of the criteria that I think we should talk about for this. There's a few different criteria I'd like to look at. We've got taste and texture. Okay. We've got variety. We've got availability. And I don't know. That's really kind of the big, those are kind of the big three for me.
Okay.
Of this particular topic. It seems like a short list of criteria to look at, but I think they're because I think that each one of them stands out in one of those categories. Oh, you know what? Producer Ken Plume threw one out there as well. And durability. That's actually, that's pretty good. I'm going to add that.
And maintenance, I think, falls under that as well. Cause in hot weather, it's all going to melt. but like an ice cream cone. Well, we'll get to that in a second.
We'll get to it. Yeah. Did we mention who gave us this topic?
This is EJ Salazar.
This actually came out of a Clean Slate episode. And the second we got this in the Clean Slate, we're like, no, this is a full topic. So EJ, as always, thank you for your topic suggestion. This is going to be a fun one.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you know who Captain Crook is?
Captain Crook. Yes, he, is the namesake of the Crook Islands. I believe he was from England and, he circumnavigated the world.
I like that you, in this version of that bit, the guy's actual name was Captain Cluck.
Captain Crook. Captain Crook was like Captain Hook, but it was just a bent stick instead of a hook for a hand. And there was not much that he could do with it.
That's right. Now, Captain Cluck was a chicken that sailed the high seas. Captain Crook is to the filet of fish sandwich what the Hamburglar is to McDonald's hamburgers. And I realized today that McDonald's Land has two serial criminals. And
the Hamburglar?
The Hamburglar and Captain Crook. Between them are always going after their respective sandwiches. But there's only one law enforcement person. Because Mayor McCheese isn't getting involved in that. He sends Big Mac to do all of his work.
Yeah, Big Mac is the muscle.
Yeah, he's the muscle. Oh, by the way, they are almost identical to one another, except their outfits, like they're clearly they're related to one another. They're just
this is a nepotism situation.
And jackets. Yeah. But they are outnumbered. And of course, Grimace also, he was like a scaly, evil monster, then got brainwashed. But the point being, it's like pre-Batman Gotham City. In McDonald's Land. You have two mastermind criminals, and only one person trying to stop them.
Yeah. And these vulnerable fry guys who are in that bus that's teetering on the ledge.
Yeah.
And, and how, you know what? Maybe Ronald McDonald can show up and help out a little bit. But honestly, as law enforcement, he's not that useful.
No, he's not. He's more, he like shows up and cuts ribbons. Meanwhile, there's an addiction epidemic with the McNuggets who are addicted to jumping into those sauces. They're saucing up everywhere. We don't know who the dealer is. Could be Early Bird. We haven't seen her in a while.
You know, Birdie, the early bird is probably the dealer. You see, she goes to bed super late. You see how early she gets up. Something is going on.
Wired on that sauce. She's saucing up all of McDonald's Land. It just occurred to me. I think it's very odd. Also, McDonald's says ice cream, so I tied it back in.
Oh, don't you worry, my friend. We're going to tie this into McDonald's a little later.
I hope the machine's not broken.
You know what? Let's do it right now. We're going to tie this right back in right now.
Let's do it.
Let's take a little history lesson, shall we? In 1926, the first soft serve ice cream machine was made. Now, I know that Carvel claims to have invented soft serve in 1934. They have their own machine. Dairy Queen claims to have invented soft serve in 1938. They have their own machine. But Charles Taylor of Buffalo, New York, in 1926 claims to have invented the first soft serve ice cream machine. And you might know the name Taylor because Charles Taylor, on a handshake agreement in the mid-1950s with Ray Kroc, he established that Taylor machines were going to be the only soft-serve machines used in McDonald's restaurants. Beginning in 1956, that is the case to this day.
Oh, wow.
And the current model that is being used is the Taylor C602. Okay. Do you know why? I mean, I'm sure you're a guy who's on the internet a lot. I am certain you know why.
What does that mean?
Well, you've probably tweeted 100 to 1 the number of times I've tweeted.
That's true.
You're generally on the internet.
I'm out there. It's true.
More so than I am. So the Taylor C602 is the only machine that McDonald's uses. And when they make a deal with the Taylor company to have one of these machines, part of the contract is the only people who can repair a Taylor soft serve machine are Taylor. And the reason is 25% of their annual profits come from repairs.
Sure.
Which has led to a lot of internet theories that they put some error code into the firmware for the machines and, that they self-sabotage so that they can do the repairs. I'm not going to lean into the validity of that or not. But at any given point in time, 25% of McDonald's soft serve machines around the world are broken. And that's because there is a several week waiting list to get someone from Taylor to come out and repair your soft serve machine. That is why when you go to McDonald's, they're always like, sorry, no McFlurries. Sorry, no shakes. Sorry, no soft serve machine's broken. It's because they have to go through Taylor. But fear not, people of the world. There is a plan in place. Currently right now, there's legislation being put forth. I'm not sure by who, for a right to repair.
Grimace.
By Grimace. It is put forth by Mayor McCheese. I'm assuming Mayor McCheese. He doesn't like having his machines not work.
Yeah.
Mayor McCheese has put forth a right to repair legislation that anyone can repair these machines so that McDonald's is not relying on the Taylor Company to be the only ones who are allowed to repair the machine. So a right to repair. Wow. Right to repair is, quote, the legal right for owners of devices and equipment to freely modify and repair products. But that's working its way through now. Who knows if that makes it to law, then someday we will be able to get a McFlurry at all 4 of the McDonald's in town instead of all 3 of them. That said, look, you gave me an opportunity to tie McDonald's to soft serve.
Sure.
And so I did it, Hal.
Yeah. Their ice cream's not great. It's fine.
It's fine.
If I wanted a McFlurry, if I really wanted that, I would just splurge and get a Blizzard. The Blizzard is a far superior candy mixed in creation.
So let's talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
The mix-ins of candy, because I'm also a Yogurtland and a Menchie's guy, which is soft serve. It's not ice cream, but it's soft serve.
Well, it's yogurt.
It's yogurt. Yeah. It's soft serve yogurt. Right.
Yeah. They're not soft serve. They're outside of this, but I take it that
they're frozen yogurt.
You can top a soft serve with a lot of stuff.
And they will use the same machines as they will use soft serve machines. It's the ingredients are different.
Right.
But you can mix in all kinds of things. Most of the machines have the ability to, a knob in the middle to make yourself a swirl.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, let's dive into the variety topic, shall we?
Okay.
I feel like this one is a clear victor for ice cream.
Yeah. Soft serve places that have multiple flavors tend to be more bespoke. When you go to a Yogurtland and a Menchie's, they have a line of machines. They've probably got 10 to 12 flavors and they're paired off.
Mm-hmm.
They've decided that those 2 flavors would be a good swirl, although you can create it however you want.
Yeah. Or someone was lazy that morning and did not do a very good job of deciding which flavors to put in which containers. So sure, I'll have a lemon sorbet with a mint chocolate chip.
Oh. And those machines, particularly the ones at Yogurtland, in my experience, the yogurt comes out at the same speed of the ketchup in that Matt LeBlanc Heinz commercial where he puts the bottle on the edge of the roof and then makes his way all the way down and holds a hot dog. And it takes all that time for the ketchup to arrive.
Yeah.
It's like same energy and I can't stand it.
Hal, I have had that experience. I have also had the very opposite of experiences, which is like opening up a fire hydrant. And you never know which experience you're going to get. Why is your water bottle blinking?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. This is the Hydrate Spark. Ken is pulling his hair out right now. This is the Hydrate Spark smart water bottle. So I have an app on my phone that is tied to this. So it's telling me how much I'm drinking. It tells me what to aim for. And when it goes off, that means it's time to drink water. I haven't had water in a while.
You know what? I have that same blinky light on my Coors.
When it turns blue, it's time to drink again.
Exactly. It's time to drink again.
Yeah, see, mine's lighting up right now. It's beautiful.
So I am a huge, and I know this is a slight departure, but it is similar in texture. It's basically the same thing to me. The ingredients are slightly different, but the delivery method's the same. The texture's the same. I'm a huge fan of Menchie's and Yogurtland and the self-serve yogurt places. We have one at work on the way out of Universal Studios, and they always have the sample cups laid out. So I always stop in on my way back to the parking lot from work, grab a couple of sample cups, grab 2 little samples, take them down, and then that is the entirety of my dessert for the day.
Frozen yogurt shooters.
Frozen yogurt shooters. Exactly.
Man.
Yeah. Current best flavor, banana Nilla wafer pudding.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be good. That would translate well.
Yeah. Deep
into
Southern
a
style.
softer- Yeah, man. I haven't been to Yogurtland in years since like
Oh.
pre-Pando. And when I went, I can't go anymore just for like the method. You always take the largest cup available. When you put the yogurt in, you put it
Mhm.
around the rim. So you're building like a wall and you drop it on the counter. So it gets down there. You don't want too much of it. Then comes all the toppings, peanut
Yeah.
butter cups, Kit Kat
Sure.
pieces. You do the chocolate syrup over all of it.
Yeah.
But
And by
it's,
this
like,
time,
inside.
it's $40.
Yeah, it weighs, it's got like the density of like Vision in Captain America Civil War when he falls through the floor. It's like the same.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like, you realize this weighs as much as you, sir? Are you sure you want to try to handle this? You need a hand cart to get this out the door? Even though it's the size of one of those little mini Nerf basketballs? Like,
Dude, I love it. I love it so
Yeah.
much. I love putting the stuff in there myself. I love it when the Reese's peanut butter cups and the tiny, chocolate chip cookie dough bits
yeah.
and the brownie bits and all that
Uh-huh.
are on the back row because I have a personal rule. I don't take anything off the front row
To the
of
kids.
cause tiny fingers go in those all day. So I'm like, I'll get the stuff that's in the
Stubby
back
fingers.
row. Yeah.
Lick their hands and then touch everything. See, this is
I
what
know.
they do. This is why you can't, this is like the dessert buffet. You can't do it anymore. Although
Yeah.
I did.
Back row of
was
the
it one
dessert
of
buffet.
you?
It's all you can do.
Was
What?
it one of you that found the soup plantation? Like there's a restaurant.
The one in Rancho Cucamonga?
Yeah.
I haven't
I
been
gotta-
there yet. I've heard it.
wanna go.
I almost went the other day when I went to a Quakes game, but we didn't get there in time.
I think I gotta go.
But here's the thing about that, Hal. We
Hmm.
talk about, all the different things that we can put in there.
Yeah.
Is the ability to add your own crafted creations to a frozen soft serve concoction that you've built yourself. Is that going to be better than the versions of ice cream that Ben and Jerry have compiled or the good people at Baskin Robbins have put together? Or because I think this is the one I think that ice cream wins hands down. You're not going to get a proper Rocky Road or mint chocolate chip or anything with any sort of texture to it out of a soft serve machine by its very nature.
I agree. In terms of flavor variety,
Mm-hmm.
traditional ice cream takes the cake because you literally
Absolutely.
can put cake in it. You
Yeah.
can put anything you want in it. It will stay in there. It can either be flavored like it or
Mhm.
I saw one recently. It was coffee flavored ice cream with bits of Krispy Kreme in it. So they made a coffee
Oh,
and donuts. ice
come
cream.
on.
You can't do that. You could take a coffee flavored soft serve and put it as a topping,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't create it like that as the flavor. Like
Yeah.
the ingenuity in ice cream flavors in the past 20 years has been incredible.
It's so fun. Do you have a favorite of okay, we've done best ice cream flavor. Do
Yeah.
you have a favorite ice cream flavor that's been invented in the last 30 years?
I'm a bad person I tasted that ice cream
Mm-hmm.
and I tasted it and my reaction to it was, oh yeah, that is really interesting. But I always I'm the wrong person to ask. I'll taste almost anything, but I always go back to mint chocolate chip. It's my standard bearer and I want to see how each place does it.
Yeah.
And then maybe sometime I'll try something else. I have to be in a like very special mood for it.
Yeah.
What about you?
It's the Cherry Garcia from Ben and Jerry, I think is a perfect. It's maybe older than 30 years, but, it's Ben and Jerry. It's going to be a Ben and Jerry's flavor. It's going to be either Cherry Garcia, Americone Dream. I love Americone
Very good.
Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
The peanut butter cup is so good.
the fact that you can get all of these as ice creams.
Mhm.
It really is this one. Ice cream wins variety hands down. Also,
Absolutely.
a tip that I learned, when I was in Italy at a gelato shop from some Italian friends in Florence was when you go to a gelato shop, they like pile the stuff up high and it looks beautiful. They make these mounds of this ice cream for you to come in and like get the big scoop. Like, don't reach for those. That is fool's gold. Go for the one that is almost empty because
Sure.
at that gelato shop, that is the flavor that shop makes. They don't have time to fancy up the presentation of their pistachio or whatever it is. The one that they're just churning through constantly because everyone in town knows that they've got the best.
Yeah.
So that is my That's my word of advice when you go to any ice cream shop is go for the one that's almost empty.
That's a smart one. Always look for those because they've also got more they're going to bring out.
Sure.
Hold on, Mark. I'm sorry. My bottle's glowing again. So let me take a water break while we take an actual break. And when we come back, we've already had ice cream win one of the 3. So can they win one more and close the door on soft serve, or will soft serve make a comeback? You're going to find out after I'm done drinking this.
We'll be right back.
Fast forward to the end of 2024. Think of your goals. What can you do right now to give yourself the best chance of succeeding? Now, if you want to learn a new language, you absolutely should get Babbel. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel's tips and tools are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based teaching, so you're ready to practice what you've learned in the real world. Babbel has over 16 million subscriptions sold. Plus, all of Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by their 20-day money-back guarantee. Now, I've lived in Los Angeles for almost 25 years, and I've always wanted to learn Spanish, but it seemed so intimidating I didn't really know where to start. Thanks to Babbel, I can actually break it down, I can set goals, and it's always digestible, the lessons. Plus, I love the speech recognition technology, the way it lets me practice my pronunciation. It gives me the pronunciation, then I get to record it myself, and it lets me know if I'm on the right track. I'm really enjoying learning with Babbel. It makes it accessible, it makes it fun, and it does a really good job of reinforcing everything that you're learning. Now here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/gotthis. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/gotthis, spelled babbel.com/gotthis. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Hey, this is Mike Cablon.
It's Uadiwe.
And Sierra Kato.
The hosts of TV Chef Fantasy League.
Where we apply fantasy sports rules to cooking competition shows.
We're not professional chefs or fantasy sports bros.
Just 3 comedians who love cooking shows and winning.
We'll cover Top Chef, Master Chef, Great British Bake Off, whatever's in season, really.
Ooh, you know chefs love cooking whatever's in season.
We draft a team of chefs at the top of every series.
And every week, we recap the episode and assign points based on how our chefs did.
And at the end of the season, we crown a winner.
You can even play along at home if you want.
Or you can just listen to us like a regular podcast about cooking shows. That's cool, too.
Subscribe to TV Chef Fantasy League on MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, everyone out there. Thank you for coming to our service.
Yes.
We are ready to heal you. We are Ross and Carrie. We are faith healers. Yes, you there.
Yes, sir. You have a spirit of
not listening to enough podcasts.
We have the solution for that.
Oh, we can cure you.
You should listen to Oh No, Ross and Carrie. Hallelujah. It's on Maximum Fun.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you there. Gladys.
A spirit of boredom?
Oh my goodness, we have the solution for you. It is to listen to the podcast
Oh No, Ross and Carrie.
He's still going. He's still drinking. The light's not even on anymore, Hal. Stop. You're gonna hyperhydrate. You're gonna hyperhydrate.
I can't do it. I have to drink a lot because I walked a lot today.
That's fair. I wish there was ice cream in that bottle.
You and me both.
You know what? First of all, welcome back. How was your water?
Oh, so good. Very refreshing. Thank you.
Good. I know you mentioned before that the versatility and the variety that is available in a scooped ice cream versus a soft serve is definitely ice cream winning one of the categories. But I don't know that we have to, or I don't know if we should weigh all these categories the same.
Well, there's only 3 of them. I think one of them's going to break, like, it's going to be 1-1 and then 3, and then the other one's going to win the second one and then win.
Here's the thing, because I'm looking at this, I'm going, I think ice cream might win a few of these categories, but I think there's one category that soft serve wins hands down to me.
Durability?
Not durability.
Oh,
No.
I think it does win durability.
You think it wins durability?
Yeah, you want me to tell you why?
Sure, please.
The maintenance required, especially if you have like even with a cone,
a cone of ice cream is going to be oddly shaped. You've got different scoops. Everybody does it differently. And both of them are going to melt rather quickly based on how hot it is. That will become a soup much faster because there's no good way. You're trying to like lick around at the bottom. You're trying to like, you're putting out fires there, right? And then you're hoping to sort of seal it off up top using your tongue as a sealant. And then you get it to a space where you can like start to either take bites or get bigger pieces. It's a little bit more work with a traditional soft serve cone. Especially like for me, I'll tell you my order. I hate to reveal the huge secrets, but I'll do a whatever size of vanilla chocolate twist, but then I want the rainbow sprinkles on it. And by the way, you get a much better, I've watched them put sprinkles on homemade ice cream. They're just sort of like tossing it on there and praying that some of it will stick.
Yeah.
Like they do it over a trash can. With a soft serve, the whole thing goes in, turns around, perfectly coated every time. You work your way up the sides to the end, and then you can work sideways, but your ability to put out those fires and maintain the integrity of the cone is way better than with a traditional ice cream.
I think you're absolutely right. I think there is a durability integrity window to soft serve that is much larger than the durability integrity window of a ice cream. And that's on both ends. That is on both ends of the ice cream, because also a pint of ice cream that you've got at home. We haven't really talked about home ice cream yet, but ice cream that you have at home, like in a pint for me, is so frequently way too hard. And then once it's the right consistency, once it's at the right consistency for me, and as I like it at its best, I think the way where it tastes the best, it's got the best mouthfeel, it coats your mouth just right. It's that perfect ice cream bite. That is so short a window before it becomes a liquid soup.
Yeah.
A lot of this, by the way, has to do with the air that is whipped into soft serve.
Yeah.
Anywhere between 10 and 60% of it is air, I have seen.
Yeah. And you really want 10. The quality is 10. It's
No. You don't want it 10.
No?
No, that you're going to be eating butter if it's 10. You want it somewhere around.
Is that a challenge?
In my research, I've discovered that the perfect number is between 25 and 33. That's about where you want the air, because too much air in it, it loses some of its flavor and it melts faster. Too little air, it doesn't taste as good.
There's also like, if your soft serve comes out with any texture on the outside of it that has a texture to it, I think it's a lower quality. And that might
like ice crystals?
Not ice crystals, but just like, there's a grainy appearance. It's not actually grainy, but it's a grainy appearance. Like really good high quality soft serve is smooth when it comes out.
Yeah.
It's like a smooth swirl. It's a smoother mouthfeel.
And that means it starts that way. When it is handed to me, it starts that way. It didn't require a heated scoop to get it out of the scooper and into my cone or cup. And then I have to wait a few minutes unless I want to chisel away a tiny little bite at a time for the first 8 minutes. Yeah. Then I've got 5 minutes of great. Then I've got the rest of the time of soup. I think that the durability integrity window of soft serve begins the second it's served to you and lasts a good little while. So texture wise, for the durability, I think durability and maintenance, which I thought was a pretty funny way of putting it earlier. You referred to it as ice cream maintenance. I think that all that comes down to the texture.
Yeah.
I think on texture, it's gotta be for just like without any mix-ins, not considering mix-ins or what you can do with scoopable ice cream. The texture of the product itself is vastly, vastly superior.
The fact that you can dip it whole upside down into magic shell or into chopped peanuts or walnuts or almonds or whatever you're putting on it, and it can take it like it's built to take toppings. Like if you go to Cold Stone, which is the topping place where they literally mix it in for you, and they get those two like paddle scoops, and they must have Popeye's forearms from the way that they have to scrape just to get pieces together, and it looks like they look like a weird metal T-Rex trying to do it and get something that's the right size, and then like just the work that you have to do to get a scoop of ice cream out and get it the right size. And I think we've all seen, and this is nothing against the scooper,
where it's just like, well, this is all I'm getting here. This is the size of the scoop now.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do it and then get another half scoop and put that on top to make a scoop because I'm getting tired. This is tiring to me. It is -5 degrees in this case. Everything is turned into flavored granite.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can get this for you, sir.
Do you prefer a one-piece ice cream scoop or a one with the little spring-loaded scoop, the little thing that scrapes it out of the inside of the scoop?
That's what we had when I was a kid. We don't have one of those right now at home. What I want to do is get the thrifty one, the one that looks like an ice cream gun where you like stick it in and it takes like a like a cork out, then you shoot it into the bowl or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really cool. I think that's a good invention because you invariably wind up using your spoon to try to scrape it off, and this just does it for you. Like and that scoop is like not a new invention at all, and it still works.
It's kind of perfect. Yeah, it's just a little piece of metal that just goes and scrapes the inside of the scoop.
Yeah,
and gives you that perfectly round, visually just right ice cream scoop.
Yeah, a good scoop of ice cream should look like George Washington's head, where it's all rounded at the top, and then there's like the fluff.
Yeah,
like
the little fluff, the little frill at the bottom.
Yeah,
exactly. It's an ice cream mullet.
An ice cream mullet. Yeah. That's right.
It's business all on the top and then party on the bottom.
Yes. Yeah. Different party on top. It's a party on the top and then a different party on the bottom.
Multiple parties.
Yeah.
All right. So for durability and maintenance, and you know what? It's funny. These are all kind of melding together because texture is what is providing the durability for this and making easier the maintenance.
Yeah.
So that's hands down, that's soft serve.
Yeah. And there's so many different ways to do it too. Like from an engineering standpoint, like the Dairy Queen is more like we're going to fill the bottom and then we're going to make like it's full all the way through. Whereas there are a lot of places that'll do like I swirl it up and the height you can get on those is incredible. There are always times where it falls. You get a Leaning Tower of Pisa sometimes.
Yeah.
That's just life. But there are a lot of different ways to attack it. I feel like ice cream, unless you have the cool thrifty scoop, you sort of, it's just, there's only really one way to do it. That's like balls of different size.
Well, let me ask you this then. I want to jump. We have two more: taste and availability. I think taste might be a wash because flavor wise, you can make any flavor combination. There are you've got your classic chocolate and vanilla. You've got a whole collection of Baskin Robbins has their 31 flavors.
Yeah.
There's the rotating handles at a lot of the soft serve shops. It might be a wash. We may need to come back to that.
Okay.
As if we need a tiebreaker of any sort. But I think I have one big final question for us. And it's about availability because I want you to think about soft serve. Are you thinking about it?
My eyes are closed.
Yeah, you are thinking about it. If it is before 1926, really if it's before the late 30s when it got popularized by Dairy Queen and Carvel, you would not know what I am talking about. You would have never heard of soft serve. You would not be able to get soft serve. The only way soft serve is available actually is if you are out at one of these parlors. Oh, you can open your eyes now. Are you still thinking about it?
I'm still thinking about it. Yeah.
Well, you're still
go ahead. Keep
soft.
talking. I'm enjoying thinking about it.
Okay. You can only get soft serve when you're out in the world because it requires a machine it requires that it be given to you at the point of sale already ready to eat in whatever form you want it. Now you can take a pint home and throw it in the freezer. It's not going to have the same correct texture. To get a proper soft serve, you've got to get it churned at the point of sale, which means a machine, which means a special occasion. Sometimes. For me, it's just finishing work, but I happen to work at a tourist spot that just has a year-round soft serve place.
Right.
But it's a special occasion. It's a boardwalk. We began this episode by talking about those special soft serve places that we had been to.
Yeah.
And those special times we remember going to Handel's or going to your spot on the boardwalk or, going to Swenson's as a kid or going to Big Gay Ice Cream in New York or Andy driving by to tell us that Big Gay Ice Cream had a truck now. Like it is a thing. It's a social special occasion thing.
Right.
Ice cream is available everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
If there's a freezer, there's ice cream. It can be stored. It can be kept. It can be enjoyed at home or out. Now, here's my question. Ice cream is more available than soft serve. Soft serve is not as available and is more of a special occasion than ice cream is.
Right.
The question is, who wins the availability battle? Is it the one that is more available or the one that's less available? I will refer back to our cake versus pie episode in which we threw out ultimately that cake was the winner because cake was for special occasions. And there's something about that that makes cake special. But does that defeat the obvious ubiquity of Ben & Jerry's pints or any ice cream that you can open up and grab out of your freezer at any point in time?
You know, I'll tell you that I've had a lot of so-so soft serve.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some very good soft serve.
Yeah.
The places I remember are the places I frequented. I remember Custard's Last Stand because it was a special thing to go there, but it was also a special thing to get ice cream in general.
Mm-hmm.
We would maybe have like Neapolitan in our house. It was exciting to have ice cream. So I have these emotional ties.
Mm-hmm.
That meant summertime. Summertime means going down the shore and going to the boardwalk and having soft serve.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it meant going to 2 Cents Plain in Margate and having an ice cream sundae with mint chocolate chip that was Breyers, which is my favorite of the commercial brand ice creams because it's consistently very good, even though they're not as fancy with their flavors. I think, especially as someone who has a January birthday, like it's not an ice cream time, but I like that I can get ice cream whenever I want.
Yeah.
I kind of like that part of it. So I think it's almost the opposite of a cake. Like cake is cool because it's a special event. What's great about ice cream is it's always there for you.
Yeah.
And I think I remember ice cream parlors. Like I could name probably 5 ice cream parlors right now that I think are excellent ice cream parlors that I've been to that I would suggest. The Bassett's actually was the Garden of Earthly Delights. That was the name of that ice cream place. Then you have 2 Cents Plain.
Those could not be more opposite names. Hey, 2 Cents Plain. The Garden of Earthly Delights.
Yeah. Franklin's Fountain, where I took you in Philadelphia.
Sure. Yeah.
They're memorable. They're creating experiences. And they can either be like, this is the cool new place, like a Jenny's or a Salt and Straw, which kind of straddles we're a little bit old school, but really we're making these gourmet ice creams that are these sort of oddball flavors. But we also have a killer chocolate brownie. Mm-hmm. And then there are some that are trying to make you feel like you're at a soda fountain in 1904.
Which I love. Disneyland, Carnation Plaza.
Yes.
I'm not sure whatever they call that.
I've had the kitchen sink.
Oh, it's great. You know, they pump the waffle cone smell into there. It's great.
Of course they do.
Yeah, because it's magic. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a smell to it. Like if I asked you, the reason why they pump that in is because that's what an ice cream parlor smells like. It smells like the toppings, smells like a fresh made cone, smells a little bit like the flavors. And there's a little bit of that with a soft serve place, but really it's so much different. There's such an experience around ice cream and a presentation to it that I think kind of blows soft serve out of the water as much as I loved soft serve. That's more tied to memories for me than it is like if I'm going to choose now between the two. And there is a very good soft serve place in either Tarzana or Reseda, which is somewhat close to me that I've been to a couple times. I would much rather go to the local handles.
Yeah.
And maybe try more of their flavors because
I love Scoops. Scoops in Atwater Village does the crazy flavors. Bacon flavor, Guinness and green tea, like all kinds of really fun stuff. You know, you said something there. You said 2 things there that let me not know, but have a hunch and want to check in with you that I think we have our answer. And here is why. I think we objectively have our answer. Mm-hmm. You mentioned, I was talking before about soft serve only being available as a special thing. When you're out, you've got it because you have to get it at that point of sale where it's churned right there. It is a special thing. But like you have just pointed out with all of these wonderful ice cream parlors, ice cream can be a special thing. And ice cream is a thing that I will get when I am happy. Ice cream is a thing that I will get.
Or sad.
Ice cream is a thing that I can get when I'm in a situation where I'm having a great time with my friends and out in the world enjoying life.
Yeah.
But there was something you said about ice cream's availability year round You said ice cream is always there for you because you can have it at home, because you can reach in the freezer and grab ice cream. Soft serve is something that I'm having out in the world when I'm in a good mood. Ice cream can be something that I'm having when I'm in a sad mood.
Yeah.
It's something that I can be having to ease anxiety. Like, look, if I'm turning every once in a while, I'm going to turn to food for some comfort. That's why they call it comfort food.
Yeah.
Ice cream, because of its ubiquity, ice cream can always be there for you. So I think that means that the availability has to go to ice cream. Variety goes to ice cream. Taste is a bit of a wash. Soft serve wins for durability, maintenance because of the texture. But really, the most important things, I think, because everybody has different tastes, is the variety. And ice cream can always be there for you.
Yeah. People of the world, in sports, they'll say the best ability is availability. And yes, this episode is brought to
the
you.
manager at work says that too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, your manager, right after saying if you have time to lean, you have time to clean. The best ability is availability.
Yep.
Now let's take a look at your shifts. Yes, maybe that last part of our analysis of ice cream is brought to you by BetterHelp in partnership with Noom. But there is something to ice cream.
Oh no, in adversary with Noom.
In adversary with Noom. We're going to let the two of them fight it out. By the way, do you think if Captain Crook gets put in McDonaldland jail that Hamburglar will break him out? Because it's to his advantage.
With those jacked up chicken McNuggets. Yeah. They're going to cause some kind of distraction.
You break him out of Big Mac's mouth, like at Playland. He's literally in jail for children. You crawled inside his mouth, and Lord help you if it was hot outside, because that just becomes a convection of. That's like Hansel and Gretel's witch would put one of those in her yard and wait for summer and go, "Oh, this is perfect.
This job is so
tonight.
Easy."
Yeah. Oh, this is great.
I'm gonna have a barbecue.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because she usually cooks in the oven. It's not often she gets to grill.
Yeah, that's literally you're throwing a shrimp on the Barbie. Now, soft serve is great.
Yeah.
I almost guarantee you if you've had soft serve in your life, you have a very cherished memory of a place that you would go, whether it was a chain like the Foster's Freeze or Tasty Freeze or Dairy Queen, or even going to get a cone at McDonald's, or if it's a special place, if it's like the Core Brothers or whatever local spot you had that you would stand outside in the summer, and as I'm describing it to you, you get this flood of sense memory of the sights and the tastes and the smell, and like you can put yourself right there. But there is something to ice cream, just traditional ice cream, that it overpowers that thing. Sometimes the memories that we have can cloud our judgment. And I think what Mark and I have tried to do here is separate that and say, yes, this is wonderful and a special thing, but ice cream is demonstrably better asked and answered.
Amen. Well, Hal, I'm very, very hungry now.
I know. I'm thinking like, maybe I'll skip dinner tonight. Now I have to have dinner.
No, you know what you're having for dinner, though?
Yeah.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. I can't. I had a Frappuccino earlier.
It's fine. That's basically ice cream anyway.
Yeah, I did it.
This topic is closed, but there are many more topics to discuss. So please reach out to us via email at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com, or
find us on other social media like TikTok at We Got This Podcast. We are on Instagram as We Got This Show. And of course, we always want you to come join us and share your thoughts, your favorite soft serves, your favorite ice cream. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? What do you think? Join us at facebook.com/group/We Got This Podcast. Thank you to Ken Plume, our producer. Thank you also to researcher Kate McManus, graphic designer Uri Kelman, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thanks, of course, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, the people of the world, with whom we would love to sit and eat ice cream, whether we were happy and enjoying each other's company and happiness, or sad and commiserating together. Whatever the reason, you grab the great big bucket and I will grab a bunch of spoons and I'll pass them out to everybody, and we'll all have spoons of ice cream, and it will be a delight once we get through that initial phase of having to chisel it away. Anyway, thanks for giving us the opportunity to do this week in, week out. We wouldn't do it without you, can't do it without you. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin, and don't worry, everybody. We got this.
We got this.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows
supported
directly
by you.